Why am I making this video? Well, for two main reasons. Number one, because you guys asked for it. I was happy to receive many comments from you guys asking me to do a niche version of this video on our designer video, which if you missed it, you can check it out at the link up above. And the second reason is it's just another excuse for me to share fragrances I love that few people are discussing here on YouTube. If you're unfamiliar with this series, the title is not exactly what it seems. These are not must-haves, at least the fragrances I'm talking about here. But it's really meant to encourage you to think a little bit more critically and maybe more functionally about your fragrance wearing. What I've done is I've chosen 10 niche fragrances that I love, some of which you've heard of, maybe some of which you haven't, and I've divvied them up into 10 different life scenarios, common scenarios that most of us will experience in which you would wear a fragrance. As a result, the categories matter more than my selections. Although I think my selections are great, they work for my taste. Hopefully they work for yours. And if you haven't tried them, you can check them out at the links down below. In fact, it's really just one link to check out because Max Aroma is the one bringing you guys this video, as they do every single month. You don't need me to vouch for them. You already know they're a fantastic and reputable source for tons of niche and designer fragrances at fantastic prices, always having great sales and a fantastic rewards program. And every fragrance I'm going to be talking about can be found at Max Aroma. So do make sure you check out the link below the like button to check out these 10 fragrances if you're interested. Once again, categories matter more just because it's great to be intentional about the fragrances you wear for a certain occasion. And with all that out the way, let's dive right into it. Our occasions will be as follows. I'm just going to list them all and then I will explain them as we go. Everyday, casual day warm, sophisticated day warm, sophisticated evening warm, date warm. And then we have casual day cool, sophisticated day cool, sophisticated evening cool, date cool, and then showstopper. Again, I will explain everything as we go. Our first category is everyday. As it sounds like, this is a fragrance that you can wear every day, any time of the year, for any occasion. It is meant to be a versatile signature fragrance, and to have a signature scent, something that is super versatile, it's always great to go in a fresher direction, but I wanted it to have depth because it needs to be able to last and be noticeable throughout any time of the year, heat or cool. The one I chose this time is from Fragrance du Bois. Honestly, one of their best fragrances they offer, period. One of the ones that I think is really worth the money, and it's Oud Bleu Intense. This is probably one of the more versatile options that they offer that is also interesting. It also still smells niche. They have a couple of other fresher options that are easy to wear, but I don't really consider them to be very special. They hardly separate themselves from mainstream fragrances in terms of scent profile. In terms of quality, they're good, but again, not special. This is special. And what's special about it is that they found a way to make incense fresh and bright. This is an ambery incense fragrance. Yeah, a little bit smoky and warm and sweet, but there is a freshness here. Mandarin orange really plays a role in that bright, juicy mandarin orange right at the top. Wears fairly simple, but it ultimately comes together as something that doesn't really smell exactly like anything else while being so easy to wear. It has a classiness to it, but can also be quite casual. Again, anytime, any day, anywhere, any situation. This is going to be a great go-to if you want something of quality. That is Fragrance du Bois Oud Bleu Intense. Casual day warm. Say you're just going to go out and run some errands. Maybe you're going to go to the gym. You're just going to go meet a friend for lunch or something, or you're just going to go for a walk. You want something casual, something that's not too serious. Obviously it's warm, so we want something fresh, but relatively simple. Not looking for complexity here. My choice is Xerjoff or Cacamorati Mefisto, the original Mefisto. I love the Gentle Uomo as well. That one's a little bit more classy, a little bit more dressed up to me, and I don't have it. Otherwise, it'd probably be in this video somewhere, but the original is phenomenal. If you do like Creed Silver Mountain Water, you'll probably like this. If you like the idea of a cooling, fresh, citrusy green type of fragrance with musk, then this is going to fit the bill. I think I like this even a little bit more than Silver Mountain Water, simply because it doesn't have that odd, inky kind of feeling that Silver Mountain Water can have that I do enjoy, but I have to be in the mood for. This I can wear anytime. It wears beautifully under the sun and heat. It does not smell super sporty. It doesn't smell the most throwaway. There is something a little bit special to it, but because it's not super complicated, it's just something something that can be worn very casually without hesitation. Let me know if you dig Cacamorati Mefisto. For sophisticated day warm, this is a fragrance that, yes, you're going to wear during the day. Maybe you want to have a professional vibe at work, whatever it may be. You want people to take you a little bit more seriously, not so throwaway, not just easy breezy fresh. This is still relatively fresh, but there's a lot more going on here, and it is a slightly more unusual profile. From Jovoy, we have L'Art de la Guerre. This is primarily a leather, oak moss, and rhubarb based fragrance with a nice bit of immortelle floating around. Quite a unique blend of elements here. It ultimately comes across a little bit green, definitely leathery, but in a more supple way. It's definitely quite woody. That rhubarb adds a real nice kind of juicy, almost bittersweet, tart quality to the scent, almost mouth-watering in its brightness, but the immortelle is what might turn some people off here. It is, in this case, a little bit maple syrupy in a way. There's a slightly culinary feeling to the scent as a result of that immortelle. It almost fills out the middle of the scent, and it gives it this richness that is almost even hay-like. It's just different, but the whole of it, when you smell it in the air, it's classy, perfectly sophisticated, perfect for the daytime, still has a good bit of brightness to it. L'Art de la Guerre from Jovoy. Sophisticated evening warm. I wanted something relatively fresh because it's expected that it'll still be a little bit warm, but I wanted it to have more oomph, more of a body to it, more of a strong grounding to it. And I could not pass up from Xerjoff 40 knots. This is literally perfect because it is this perfect blend of freshness, almost aquatic, salty, marine-like freshness in a way, blended with a warm, ambery, powdery, woody sweetness. Quite a duality. Somehow it works. It might smell a little bit weird to some folks. Honestly, would advise getting a decant of this first. I know Max Roma does offer these awesome little faux leather decants of pretty much all their fragrances, so you don't have to commit to a full bottle right away. I would recommend doing that for 40 knots. This is one of my most worn fragrances of last year. It's a great scent, especially for this occasion. Evening out, especially when there's going to be a breeze, it's quite a powerful scent. So when you catch it in the air around you, when the breeze catches it, oh my gosh, it's intoxicating, and it's very unique and very attention grabbing, all while being pretty sophisticated. That is 40 knots from Xerjoff. Date warm. Because once again, it's warmer even at night. I wanted something fresh, but it needs to be sexy. We want a sexy edge to this, something spicy, something maybe a little bit earthy to add a little bit of edge to this freshness that is otherwise kind of clean. And I had to go with Mind Game's Gambit. Not a cheap fragrance, so definitely get a sample first if you can. But this stuff has grown on me. It's going to easily become one of my most worn fragrances of the year. When I first smelled it, I was like, it kind of reminds me of some mainstream stuff. But the more I've worn it, I see the quality. I see how it sets itself apart a bit, how the ingredients are of high quality, and the overall vibe here is very attractive. I'm warning you, this stuff is sexy. All by myself, I'm loving the way I smell when I wear this. My wife happens to love it too, and I have gotten unsolicited feedback from other people while wearing it. It's an easy fragrance to wear. It does have the perfect amount of darkness to this otherwise almost shower gel leaning fresh spicy fragrance. I think patchouli does help to add a little bit of a dark depth to it. Let me know if you've tried Gambit from Mind Games. Good stuff. All right, we're moving over to the cool side. Casual day cool. I wanted something cozy and warm that is not too serious, not too complex, not too powerful. And we're going with this one that you don't see much talk about. I think it technically might be an inspired fragrance from a niche brand that maybe takes inspiration from other fragrances, but I do believe if you put this side by side with what it's compared to often, it does set itself apart. After the first 20 minutes or so, it will smell a little bit like its own thing, if you're asking me. This is from Franck Boclet, and it's called Tobacco. Very simple. It is known to resemble Tobacco Vanille from Tom Ford. Lots of cloves in here, a little bit of plum. It's kind of like a dried fruit, sweet, spicy, warm tobacco. It definitely screams more fall winter vibes. It screams cozy vibes. It's, I think, a little bit less show-stopping, a little bit less rambunctious than Tobacco Vanille. Maybe even a little bit easier on the nose. I know Tobacco Vanille does rub some people the wrong way. I see this being easier to appreciate than Tobacco Vanille if you weren't a fan of it. So do check out Tobacco from Franck Boclet performs well, wears beautifully on the skin as it evolves, and it just smells great for a casual day. Sophisticated day cool. I wanted something that has a perfect duality of a little bit of freshness with a good amount of warmth with good staying power. Because it's going to be cooler, I want it to smell a little bit professional but with some interest to it, and I think Amouage Enclave fits the bill. Cardamom and mint make it quite fresh, even a little bit sweet, but it dries down into this ambery, leathery, almost ashy scent. It's warm and cold all at the same time. Some people say it smells like ambery toothpaste. I kind of get where they're coming from. It doesn't sound bad to me and it doesn't smell bad to me, but that's not exactly what it smells like to me. It's its own thing. It's very unique. It performs really well and it leaves a beautiful cloud around you. I think it helps to get a little bit more attention when you want that professional vibe. You don't need to spray much of it. 2 to 4 sprays max. It's going to last you all day long and you're going to be leaving a trail as you go that still smells fresh and inviting, but with some interest to it. Once again, that is Amouage Enclave. Sophisticated evening cool. This fragrance was love at first sniff. I love the vibe that this gives off. You wear this on a night out when it's cold, even if you're going to be inside. You don't need too much of it because it's pretty powerful, at least for me, and it just fills the air with this warm, almost buttery smooth, but kind of burnt vanilla and woods with saffron. Maybe a little bit of apple in there when you first spray it on. Good Lord. This is Vanilla Oud from Vertus. I just described it. I summed it up. It almost has the illusion of a booziness, so to speak, but it is mostly vanilla. Warm, burnt vanilla with kind of a smoky wood in the background. Very, very smooth. The way it kind of moves and dances. It just has this velvety texture to it that is just sophisticated. It will get attention around you in the most inviting way. Not a sharp edge on this fragrance. Really beautiful. Don't be afraid about oud. It doesn't smell oudy. It's awesome. That is Vanilla Oud from Vertus. Let's talk about date cool. You want to smell alluring on date night, and this fragrance will do it. You won't need much of it. I'm literally talking maybe 2 sprays. If you plan on being close to someone for the evening, you don't want more than 2 sprays of this because it will overwhelm you
and them and everyone else you love.
Trust me, this stuff is no slouch, but the scent profile is irresistible for a date. This is from Algabra. It's new to my collection. It's called Eye of 7 Hills. I did film a first impressions video on this as a YouTube short, and man, in wearing this some more and doing some more research, I have seen other people corroborate that yes, it does resemble Side Effect from Anisha, which I also have. I think it's a good scent. This is just more personality of Side Effect. It's just like there's more substance here. Side Effect to me, it kind of has this hollow feeling. I can't really describe it. The way the ingredients come together, it is pleasant, but it's missing something. And I think this fills that gap. It's just a richer version. There is a vanilla. There's a beautiful boozy quality here, like a whiskey. It's warm, it's sweet, it's a little bit edgy, but it's seductive, and it's so great for a date night. And they might just want to be closer to you as long as you don't spray too much. I'm warning you, this stuff is nuclear. For a date night, you only need about 4 hours of a scent, really. Let's be honest here. And this is giving you more than that. So be considerate. Algabra, Eye of 7 Hills. And the final category is Showstopper. Showstopper is a fragrance that by nature is a little bit polarizing, or a lot polarizing. It's not going to be for everyone. It's going to have a little bit of an edgier nature to it. Some will love this, some will not like it at all. I wouldn't say it's the most challenging fragrance we've included in this category in other videos like this, but it does have its fair amount of people who can't really wrap their mind around it because it's just a little too much. The oud in here, I think, throws some people off, but overall, it's smooth. From Parfums de Marly, this is Pegasus Exclusif. Creamy, milky, almond, heliotrope vanilla. Like the original Pegasus, almost a fresh metallic feeling, but perhaps a little bit less freshness, less metallic nature, more bottom heavy with oud. Maybe a bit of a smoky vibe as well. It gets dark on the skin while being sweet and almost vanilla frosting like in a way. Very creamy, but dark, but also kind of alluring. It's something that will catch attention in a way that people have not really experienced before. Might even have people asking you what you're wearing. Maybe not, but at the very least, a showstopper's purpose is to have people remember you. You make an impression on them whether or not they tell you smell good. You know you smell good. That's what matters. Let me know if you dig Pegasus Exclusif from Parfums de Marly, and if you consider it a showstopper. All right, that's gonna do it for me. I wanna know what you guys think of these fragrances. Go ahead and leave a comment down below. I would love to know. And once again, if you have not checked any of them out, you can do so down at Max Aroma. And thank you so much for tuning in. Peace. I'll see you in the next one.